Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Can you guys see me? Okay, well, today I decided to do a live stream. This is something I wanted to do for a while. It's my first one, so I'm excited. So, okay, I'm gonna get started now. So, in the title, you can see some of the topics I'm gonna talk about. So, first, I'm gonna start with Britney Spears' new book. So, I was curious, like, is Britney Spears still popular wherever you live? Like, is Spears still considered like a popular artist in your country where you live? Or was she more popular back in the day, like back in the 90s and 2000s, and now she's not so popular where you are? Because I feel like here in like the US, she's still like popular. Like, I feel like she's seen as like a legacy artist in a way because she's had so many hits over the years, but I feel like she's also considered popular as well still. Like, she's still relevant. So, I haven't finished her book yet, but I've been reading it and I feel like it's like pretty intense because she goes into a lot of detail about like everything she's been through with like her conservatorship, and she talks about like her childhood and her siblings, and she talks about like her parents and what their relationship was like and how her parents treated her growing up. And so yeah, I feel like a lot of it's just like really sad, to be honest. Like, there are a few things she mentions that she liked doing when she was younger, and like things that made her happy, but I feel like overall, like a lot of it's just like really sad. And it's like, I feel like what's really sad about it is just like how the media, I think, really just had it out for her. Because it's like when she started, there were people saying like her outfits were too promiscuous, and there were people asking her, like if she's like a virgin or not when she's literally like a child. Like, why are you asking her that? That's such a weird thing to ask, I think. And then I think just as she got older, like the paparazzi were just like harassing her every day. Like, she talks about paparazzi being like outside of her house and how she could like hear them and see them trying to take pictures of her like through the window and everything. And yeah, I feel like for everyone who wants to like say Britney's crazy or say she still is crazy, it's like I think they should try to like put herself in her shoes when it came to like how she was treated, especially back in like 2007, because like they were just harassing her like every day and giving her a hard time and like asking her inappropriate questions and everything. Like, they would not give her a break at all. Like, I think what her family should have done back then when, like, the paparazzi were harassing her like that, is I think they should have just maybe had her move somewhere else for a little bit and, like, stay somewhere that's, like, smaller and more secluded, so that way it's like she doesn't have people everywhere she goes, like, in her face when she just wants to, like, go for a walk or see a friend. But I feel like that's what they should have done, like, when she was going through her stuff, is, like, I think they should have just sat down with Brittany and talked to her and maybe decided to, like, have her move away for a little bit and live somewhere else that's, like, smaller and more secluded. And then, like, while she's there, maybe she could get, like, therapy or something, or just do whatever she has to do, I guess, to like, be on a better path. But I feel like if they had done something like that and like given her more privacy instead of doing the conservatorship, which like basically took her rights away from her, I feel like her life would have been so much different. And I feel like she probably would be a lot happier too. So yeah. I'm curious though, like, have any of you guys read the book yet? And like, if you have read the book, like, what about the book has, like, stood out to you or, like, has surprised you? Because yeah, I feel like in a way, the book isn't as, I guess, revealing as people might think it is because, like, she does talk about a lot of different things, but at the same time, there are parts in the book where she's, like, very vague, like, she doesn't just explicitly say who the person is that did something. Like, she just will say, "This happened, and this person did this," but she doesn't say, like, their name or anything like that. But then there are other parts where she talks more in detail, like, she talks about her relationship with Justin Timberlake, and I feel like the song Every Time now is, like, blowing up online because of, like, the video and, like, how people are like, "Wow, it's about her relationship with Justin," like, that song has, like, a new meaning to people now. Yeah, she spilled the tea on Justin, I agree, I saw someone just commented here. Yeah, like, I can't imagine going through a relationship like that, where it's like you guys are in love and you're serious, and then you find out, like, "Oh, I'm pregnant now," and then he's just basically like, "Well, I'm not gonna deal with that." So, like, it's sad how I feel like, pressured her into making that decision. Like, I think I think based on what she said in the book, I think she regrets that. And, like, I get it because it's like, you know, I think when it comes to that topic, I don't wanna say the word because you know how YouTube can be, but when it comes to that procedure, I think, every woman has to choose for themselves whether they wanna do that or not. And I feel like that should be 100% your choice. I don't think you should be pressured into getting or not getting that procedure. I feel like, it should be your choice. It shouldn't be, "I'll do this for you," you know? It should be, you make that choice or don't make that choice because it's right for you. And yeah, I don't really wanna go into much on that because I feel like that topic gets a lot of people heated. So that's all I'm gonna say on that when it comes to that, delicate matter. And then just she talks about her dad a lot too. Like she talks about how her dad is basically like an alcoholic and how he always told her she was fat and needed to like lose weight and everything. And just like she just says a lot in the book how she never really felt good enough for her dad, like no matter how hard she worked. And like I can't imagine that either, just feeling like no matter what I do for my parents, I can make all this money, sell all these records, go on tour, have all these fans and have everything and still not be good enough for you. Like, it's crazy. And then I saw something recently that apparently her dad is very ill and he's probably going to pass away pretty soon. So it sounds like Brittany, I guess, is trying to talk to him about something and kind of make peace with him in a way, which I feel like that's interesting. Like, I don't know, like, I haven't been through that, so I don't like, my dad did pass away, but when my dad passed away, we were both on good terms. It's not like I hated him, but had to find a way to, make things right before he died. So I don't, I can't imagine how hard that must be, like, trying to put aside how you feel about him and how he hurt you so you can, like, try to, I guess, end your relationship on a good note so then he can pass away peacefully. Yeah, I can't imagine going through something like that. It sounds really like difficult and like emotionally frustrating because it's like on one hand you want to like hate this person for everything they did to you, but it's also like you don't want to, I guess, hold all of that like hate and anger in your heart and just like hate them till the moment they die. And then when they die, it's like, that they like hated you and had all this animosity toward you and all of that. So, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the BBMA. So, the BBMAs announced some new categories yesterday. They announced some K-pop categories and some other categories too, because I'd have to look at the whole list again because I don't remember all the new categories. But I think they had some categories for like Africans music or something like that. It was either like Africans or like some kind of new like R&B genre, and I saw they had some K-pop categories now, And yeah, I see that a lot of fans are just really not happy about that. I've seen a lot of fans saying that the BBMAs are being xenophobic and racist by doing this, and that they shouldn't have added these categories, and that it's not fair. And I don't know, like, I have, like, mixed feelings about it because, like, on one hand, it's like I get where people are coming from. Obviously, I'm not saying I think American award shows should be racist or xenophobic because obviously I don't agree with that. But at the same time, if they didn't add these categories, then I feel like you guys would say, "Oh, you're not being fair, you're not being inclusive enough. You're not giving everybody a fair shot of, like, getting an award." So I feel like it's kind of like a lose-lose situation where it's like if you try to kind of modernize your award show and have it be more inclusive, then it's like people still get mad and will say that it's unfair. But if you kept doing what you're doing and you don't make changes, then again, people are going to get mad and say, "Why didn't you do this? You should have done that. You're not being inclusive enough. You're not being this enough. You're not being that enough." So I feel kind of split on it. Like I can see both sides. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I think it is good they're trying to be more inclusive, but I guess in a way I feel like it would have been better if maybe they just had more global categories instead of just having like specifically like only K-pop categories because they had one for like best K-pop tour and some other stuff. So maybe instead of like best K-pop tour, you could just have a best tour category and like anyone could be nominated. Like no matter where you're from, or like what your music is. It could just be like anyone has a shot because everyone tours. So I kind of feel like that would be the solution. Like maybe just have more awards that are general. Like some of them could be global and then some of them could be general, like the tour one. Just say like best tour, best single, whatever, versus, K pop this, K pop that, because clearly a lot of fans are really angry about it and don't feel like it's fair that they are just putting like the Korean K-pop artists into like their own little corner and being like you can be here but don't interact with the others. So yeah, I feel like that would be the solution. Just have more like global categories where anyone can be nominated, and then also just have categories where it's just general, like best tour, best song, whatever. So that way it's like everyone has a fair shot. And it's not like you're just picking favorites and saying, well, you only can do this because you're from this country and blah blah blah. So I think that would be like the best thing to do for that. Okay, so this month I went to New York for my birthday. So, yeah. So, yeah, I had a good time in New York with my family. It's been a while since we've all gotten to like hang out and see each other. So, it was really nice to have good quality family time. And I got to see this really cool off Broadway play called Titanic. It's basically like a spoof on the Titanic. So it's like they have this woman who plays Celine Dion and she like sings this medley of songs with the cast and like they all like sing and perform and it's just like really funny and like they have a lot of like references and jokes to like the modern day and like modern stuff like pop culture stuff and all that. Like they had a joke about vaping in like a movie theater, which I didn't really get. Like I still like laughed along because it's like everyone else was laughing, so it's like I laughed too. But yeah, the vaping in the movie theater joke, I didn't really get that. But they had like other jokes and references where it's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a good one. So yeah, I feel like the show was just really fun. And they even had a part where they threw the heart of the ocean into the crowd because they had this like I'm trying to think. I guess it was sort of like a paper mache like heart of the ocean. So it was like hanging like on the stage. And then they had another version which was like a necklace. So it was like this giant paper mache heart necklace and the actress who played Rose, she wore it a few times, but not for very long since it was pretty big. I think if she had tried to wear that if she had worn that the whole show, she probably wouldn't have been able to dance because it would have like dragged her to the floor. But there were a few times where she wore it, and then later on in the show, so the Celine Dion character, she like threw it out into the crowd. So that was really cool. That was fun. Yeah, because when I saw the Heart of the Ocean hanging when we were waiting for the play to start, I was like, "I wonder if they're gonna throw it out into the crowd." And my mom was like, "No way, they're not gonna do that." And then they did it, and I was like, "Look, they threw it out into the crowd, mom. I was right." So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed that play. Like, it was just, like, really fun and lighthearted, and, like, all the performers were so amazing, like, they all have, like, fantastic vocals, especially the person who plays Celine Dion. Like, she actually used to be in the show Wicked, and there was a character she played on there, Afelphaba. I don't think I said that right, but basically, like, she played that character after Adina Menzel left the show to, like, do her other projects. So she played that character after Adina Menzel left, and she played that character for the longest time, and yeah, Wicked is like a very vocally challenging musical. So I feel like if you can do Wicked and like basically be one of the leads in Wicked for the longest time like ever, then yeah, I feel like you can do Celine Dion. Cause yeah, I think she did a good job, like kind of mimicking her voice and like her mannerisms a little bit. Like I'm curious if Celine Dion has heard of the show. Like, I'm curious if she's heard of the show and if she's watched it. Because if not, then I feel like she needs to go to New York and catch a viewing of it. Because I feel like she would like it. She seems like someone like, I don't know Celine Dion, obviously, but to me, she seems like somebody who can, like, take a joke. So I kinda feel like she would like it, you know? I feel like she would enjoy the show. So, yeah. And then Halloween is soon, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I'll be working on Halloween night, so I won't really get to dress up. But I do have this little headband I was planning on wearing. It's like a little headband with like pumpkins on it. So I was planning on wearing that to work. So I guess I'll be a pumpkin for Halloween this year. So yeah, that's what I was planning on doing for Halloween, like wearing my little headband when I go to work that night. So yeah, I don't really have any big plans since I'll be working. I mean, I'll probably eat some candy too, cause like, duh, you gotta eat candy on Halloween, but that's probably what I'm gonna do. And then also, unfortunately, there was a shooting in Maine yesterday, and I've heard about that like yesterday and a little bit this morning, and I read something a little bit earlier about the victims who passed away, and it's just so sad and it's so terrible. And it really bugs me because a pattern I've noticed with some of the like shootings that happen in this country is like the some of these guys who do it, it's like they were ticking time bombs because it's like they had clear signs of like, something not being well, whether it was like they post on social media that they're going to do something, or like, you know, they have some kind of issue and they're not getting help or whatever. And it's just like, I feel like our country, like, it's like we're really failing when it comes to that. I really think it's disappointing how we have so many shootings and nothing has been done about it yet. Like, I feel like a lot of these politicians just want to do the same old, like, oh, we're so sorry and our thoughts and prayers are with you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, thoughts and prayers don't bring people back to life from being shot. That doesn't make a difference. Like, if you guys really cared, you would pass some laws. And frankly, I think something that needs to be more of a thing now, like, it is technically a job, it is technically something people do, but clearly we don't have enough of them. But I think at this point, because, sometimes when shootings like this happen, there are signs like online, like the person will like post online that they're going to do something. Is that I think we need more internet security monitors. So those kind of people, like if you're, I mean, there's different kinds of internet security monitors, basically, but we need more of them that I think specialize in like gun violence and shootings. So that way, it's like when things like this get posted, then the people who like have this job can like print out these posts and like email them to the authorities and get in contact with the authorities if needed, maybe even drive or fly to that state and like bring out, the stuff you printed to show them that, hey, this guy is threatening to shoot here soon, and like you need to do something about it or people are going to die. But I don't know. I mean a lot needs to be done, but I think that definitely needs to be more, that needs to be a job that we have more people doing, where it's like you have people who are online and they're like monitoring this type of activity and they're taking action, like they're calling the police, they're trying to get the post taken down, and like they're trying to like basically warn, authorities and people in that area about, a potential shooting, so that way, we don't just have more and more victims. Because yeah, I think at this point, it's like when it comes to that, shootings are out of control in this country. So many shootings happen that we can't even keep track of them. And I think sadly, a lot of people are just numb to it and desensitized to it. Like it's been seen as a norm for so long here that I feel like it does make people kind of feel like, well, nothing we can do about it. And it's like, no, I think having a defeatist attitude like that and being like, too bad, too sad. It's like that doesn't change it. That's not gonna make it better. Like if we want to make it better, we could pass better gun laws. We could have freaking background checks so people don't just come into a store and buy a gun and then go to a school or go to a theater, a church, wherever, and start shooting later that day. And we could have people like these internet security monitors who make sure authorities know that these people are dangerous and that you need to, keep an eye on your town and make sure that people know that if you see this guy, stay away and like do not engage with them. So yeah. So yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think. I think I'll talk about one more thing and then wrap this up because I don't want to like talk for too long or have this be like too upsetting or depressing or anything. So, I guess I'll kind of talk about what I've been up to lately. So, I had my trip to New York recently. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, I saw the play. We also My uncle also took my mom and I to the Met, so we got to look around there a little bit. Yeah. I kind of feel like I didn't really get to take it in that much because my uncle, there was like an exhibit there he really wanted to see, which is fine. I didn't mind that, but it's like we had to keep moving around and like, I feel like we almost had to like chase it, like it was like a rat running around the room. It's like we had to keep zigzagging around the place to find it. So I feel like because of that, I don't feel like I really got to like look at the art and really kind of take it in and admire it that much. So, I mean, I did still enjoy going there. It just wasn't fun kind of bopping all over the place and not really getting to like kind of take it in. But, hopefully I'll get to go another time. Maybe I'll go on my own or something. So then that way I can just kind of go where I wanna go and be able to enjoy it and not have to, like, go here, then go there, and then go upstairs. No, wait, you have to go this way. No, take this elevator. Like, I feel like I would just and, like, next time I go, I feel like I'd rather just do what I wanna do. Like, just take my time and enjoy it and not have to kinda run all over the place trying to find an exhibit. But, yeah. So, yeah. Um And just, yeah, also, unfortunately, my dog passed away this month. We found out that he had cancer, and so we decided to, put him down. So yeah, I feel like that's been kind of hard. Like the house feels so like empty and quiet without him now. And like sometimes I feel like I still hear him like walking around, or I feel like I still hear the like jingle jangle of his collar. Like I used to say Tinkerbell sometimes when it came to like my dog because like his collar moving around like when he was walking and his like collar would like jingle jangle, it like sounded like Tinkerbell to me. So it's like I kind of miss like the Tinkerbell sound because it was like really, it was like so pleasant and cheery. It would just make me think of like how Tinkerbell sounds in the movie, like the Disney movie and all that with the ringing bell sound. So yeah, I feel like that's been like an adjustment, like it's tough. Like I'm sad and I miss him, but at the same time, like he lived a really long life. Yeah, he was 17 and a half, so he had some good years, but I think we just knew that at this point it was time because I suppose we could have tried to do surgery, but I think because of where the tumor was, it just would have been too risky. Like I think if we had made the decision for him to have surgery, I don't think the surgery would have worked out and I think he probably would have passed away from complications from surgery. So I think it's better that we didn't go down that route because I think I think he still would have passed away and it wouldn't have saved him. So I think as tough as it was, I feel like we knew we had to say goodbye and like, you know, let him go to doggy heaven. So yeah. Do any of you guys have pets? Anybody watching? Do any of you have pets? Cats, dogs, parrots, ferrets, guinea pigs, anything? Yeah. Because when I was younger, we had like a few fish. We had like goldfish, but goldfish never live long, so I didn't really have much of a bond with them. But yeah, I feel like Cola, that's my dog's name. He he was there for a lot. Like yeah, I want to try to show you guys a picture of him for those of you who don't really know what he looks like because I don't know if I ever really showed pictures of him on my channel. Let me see. I'm trying to find a picture on my phone I can show you guys. Okay, this is an older picture of him, but yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that's a picture of him. It's a nice picture of him. So yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. I don't Yeah, I feel like I don't really have much to talk about anymore, but I kind of just wanted to do this because I feel like it's been a while since I've done something on my channel, and I feel like I had some stuff I wanted to talk about, and I just thought it would be fun to kind of talk with you guys and catch up and kind of tell you what's been going on with me. And I don't know, like I think I will do one of these again sometime, but I'm still trying to figure out like if I'll be able to do these on Friday or not. Because I feel like that's the thing. If I'm gonna start doing these little live streams on my channel, I do want to try to make sure it's consistent so then people know like when to tune in and watch and comment and join in the live chat. So that's definitely something I'm gonna have to like figure out with like my schedule and everything. But for those of you who watched, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a great time. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about what I talked about. Like, what do you guys think about the K-pop categories and the BBMAs? Do you think it's racist and xenophobic? Or do you think it was a good idea that they're trying to be more inclusive? And then what about Britney Spears? Like, are you a fan of Britney? Do you have a favorite Britney Spears song? Have you read the book yet? Or do you want to read the book? I feel like I would recommend people read the book if they really want to know more about Brittany because I do feel like even though I haven't finished the book, I feel like she really does go into detail about the conservatorship and like what exactly it was like having her dad basically like be the boss of her life. Like it's pretty intense, you know. This it's not a light reading book at all. It is definitely not a light beach read. I would not say that. It is not a light beach read. So yeah. And then also like have any of you guys been to New York or done any traveling lately? Or how I mentioned the play I went to. Have any of you guys been to any movies or plays recently? Let me know in the comments. I hope you have a good day, night, or afternoon wherever you are, and stay safe. Bye.